Hey guys, Cece back with another video. I hope you guys are ready to have some more fun, some more decluttering fun, because that's what we're doing here. We are going to declutter all of my powders. These are face powders. These are powders that go underneath your eyes to set your concealer. Any type of face powder that I have in this video. I counted 56, so obviously there's a lot of powders here. I'm not gonna ramble, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. I hope you guys are enjoying this declutter series. I just put up my foundation declutter series, so if you haven't seen that, please go ahead and check out that video, and let's just jump right in. So as with the other videos, I'm not going to go over every single product that I have here. I'm going to do slight overviews of some of the products, but obviously we'll be here all day if I go over every single product. So we're just going to start pulling things in no particular order, and let's declutter some of this stuff, guys, because I'm running out of space. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing I have here is this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Powder. It goes along with the Pro Matte Foundation. This is one of my favorite powders. I will probably not get rid of this powder until it is gone. It has like a significant dent in it. So I love this and I will definitely be keeping it. Alright, let's just pull some other keepers here because I need to make some space so you guys can see everything. So, Lancome, this is the translucent powder. I've talked to you guys about this before, the silky loose powder. I'm not getting rid of this at all, so that stays, along with my RCMA No Color Powder. This is another absolute favorite of mine, so we are keeping that. We're keeping the Nye Neutral Set Powder. I've only used this a couple times, but it's very, very fine, and I really, really like it. And another keeper is the Kat Von D Lock It Translucent Setting Powder. This is actually pretty new, and I'm not getting rid of it. More keepers. This is the Kick-Ass Instant Retouch Pressed Powder by Soap & Glory. Another quite new product, so we're keeping that. And the NYX No Filter Powder. You guys know I've talked to you about this. I love it. And the Wet n Wild's Photo Focus Pressed Powder. That's another keeper here. You guys, I've become even more obsessed with powders than I am with foundations. So this is going to be tough. I keep seeing powders that I'm keeping, and I'm like, you got to get rid of some. So let's go ahead and get rid of one right now. This is the MAC Blot Powder. This is so old. This is probably like 5 years old. One of the first MAC powders that I ever bought, and I'm definitely getting rid of this. It's super expired, like I said, super old, and it's just time for it to go. It's not even in the new packaging. Like I swear it's like 5 years old. So that's gonna go. Another powder that we can get out of here is the Covergirl. Let's get you guys focused. This is the Ready Set Gorgeous powder. I had the foundation and I really, really love the foundation. I wasn't too fond of the powder. It just didn't do much for me. So that one I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of. Let's just pull some more keepers, shall we? The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Dim Light. You guys know I love to use this underneath my eyes, so we're keeping that. I'm also going to keep this Dermablend Powder. I just got this in, it was either my Sephora bag or my BoxyCharm, so I'm keeping that. Now let me tell you, you guys are probably going to kill me for this. This is the Sasha Buttercup powder. I am not going to declutter this, and the only reason I'm not going to declutter this is because I have some makeup jobs coming up this year, and I know I will have some darker skinned women, so this will look good on them, but I cannot stand this powder on my skin tone. The one that I prefer actually is just the regular Nye Banana Powder. This stuff works so much better for someone my complexion, in my opinion. I just am not a fan of this Sasha Buttercup. So I'm keeping it, but only because I'm going to use it on other people. But the Nye Banana Powder, both of these are Nye Banana Powders. I'm keeping them. Here's one that we can also get rid of. This is the Bare Minerals Translucent, what is this, Touch-Up Veil. We're going to go ahead and declutter this. I never use it, never have really used it, and I just didn't like the formula of it or the texture. I just didn't like the way it looked on my skin, so that one has to go. Along with the Revlon Colorstay powder. This is super old. I've had it for a while. It worked okay, but it's time for it to go. It's also broken, so we're just gonna go ahead and toss that one. I am also going to get rid of these two L'Oreal powders. This is the True Match and then the True Match Minerals. I don't see that these do that much for my skin, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut my losses with those. So let's go ahead and keep this MAC. This is the Studio Fix Perfecting Powder. I'm going to keep that. I am going to keep this LA Girl Pro Powder. This is pretty much a brand new powder for me that I'm still testing out. I'm also going to keep this Tarte Smooth Operator. This is also another translucent powder that I haven't tried much, so I want to still give it a fair shot. And this is another brand new powder. This is the Iman, what is this? Second to None Semi-Loose Powder in the color Earth Medium. So I'm going to keep that as well and try it out. Actually, let's go ahead and take that back. This powder is entirely too dark for me, so I'm gonna go ahead. I could have probably seen it through the glass, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. It's way too dark, brand new powder. Let's keep decluttering. These two baby mineral veils I do not need. I never use Bare Minerals mineral veil, so I'm going to get rid of that one. And then I also have a big one of the tinted mineral veil. I can get rid of all three of those because I never ever use these. Let's do this. This is the Ulta Pressed Setting Powder in Banana. This has actually become one of my absolute favorite setting powders for underneath my eyes for every day. I have almost hit pan on it. Like, I can see the rings in there. So I'm definitely keeping that one. Another drugstore favorite, well, Ulta's kind of drugstore, but they're kind of pricey for drugstore also. But this is a drugstore favorite for mine. This is the Black Opal Deluxe Finishing Powder. This is actually a really, really nice powder. I have it in the shade Neutral Light, and it's a great loose finishing powder from the drugstore. This one actually breaks my heart to get rid of. This is the Nars Light Reflecting Setting Powder. This stuff is almost $40. But I bought it and I absolutely do not know what to do with it. I feel like there's nothing coming off. There's nothing that comes, nothing comes off on my fingers barely. And so I feel like it's not transferring to my face. It's not setting anything. I don't know what this powder is doing, but I just don't feel like it's doing enough for me. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, let this one go. Two more powders that we're gonna let go are the Maybelline Dream Wonder Powder and then the Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. I believe the Dream Wonder Powder actually replaced the Dream Matte Powder, but both of these are pretty old, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter them. Same with these MAC Mineralize Skin Finishes. It's time for me to buy new ones. I can't tell you how old these are. This doesn't even have an expiration date on the back. That's probably how old these are. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of both of these. I love the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, don't get me wrong. It's just time to get new ones. So if I want one, my shade is actually, which is my favorite shade? The one in Medium Deep. That's a really, really good shade for me. But again, these are just really old and they've been used and loved. So it's time for me to go ahead and get new ones. So let's go ahead and talk about a few keepers. The first one is this Becca Perfect Skin Mineral Powder. This is definitely a keeper. I really, really love this powder. It's a bit dark for me, but it works really nicely over a lighter foundation. And then I'm also going to keep the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. I like this powder, don't love it, but it's still pretty new, so I want to still give it a chance. And then I'm also keeping the LA Girl Pro Face High Definition Matte Powder. And that's another one that's actually pretty new for me, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that also. Another powder I can declutter is the CoverGirl Clean Matte Powder. I decluttered the foundation also. I just feel like this whole line was a miss for me. The powder is so hard. It's not like soft at all, and I'm not loving the texture of it. It doesn't mattify as much as I'd like either, so I'm gonna go ahead and pitch that one. But a powder that I will be keeping is this CoverGirl Outlast All Day. This stuff is matte. So if you're using this for touch-ups, I would not use a sponge. I definitely use like a loosely packed brush so you can put on just a slight amount. Because if you put on a lot of this stuff, you'll be able to see it and it'll just look really powdery on your face, but it's definitely matte if you have an oily issue. Alright, you guys, we are getting them down here. I'm also keeping the Lorac Perfection Baked Perfecting Powder. This is actually a really nice powder. I like to use it under my eyes for simple days, so I'm going to keep that. I'm also going to keep the Besame Brightening Violet Powder. This is in translucent. I used it once and I didn't really love it, so I kind of put it down after that, but I'm going to give it a try again and see if I like it. If not, I'll declutter it at that time. So all of these Ruby Kisses powders, these HD Set It, what are these? Set and Forget setting powders. These were great powders. However, I just did not like these colors. I bought these a long time ago when I was actually pretty new to makeup. So I'm just going to go ahead and declutter those. I'm going to actually keep the jars, but just toss the powders in them. And then I can put my other translucent powders in these jars. And this is the Nye powder in Chestnut and also in Topaz. I used to use the one in Chestnut for like contouring, but it's just too messy. It's too much to work with, too much to do. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter these as well. Bare Minerals, this is the Translucent Powder Duo. I showed you guys this before in a few videos. I actually really like this one. The glow side doesn't do much, but the matte side is actually really cool and mattifying on my skin, so I'm keeping that. And then I'm also keeping this newer powder. This is the City Color Flawless Brightening Natural Loose Powder. It has like a pinky tone to it. I haven't even opened it yet. As you guys can see, it's still in the plastic, so I haven't opened it yet, so we'll see how this works on my skin. If I don't like it, then I'll just go ahead and get rid of it. Here's one that I'm actually getting rid of. This is another newer product. This is the Tarte BB, what is this, Creamy Powder Foundation in the color Tan Honey. This is just too much for me. It's actually has a lot of coverage and it's not very mattifying, so I don't like that at all, so I have to get rid of it. Few more. Okay, so this is the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the color number 340 Cappuccino. This is not mattifying at all. This powder just really doesn't do much for me. I wish it was mattifying because the color is like perfect, but it just doesn't really do much for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. However, I am going to keep my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the color number 330. That is one of my favorite drugstore powders, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. Rimmel Stay Matte. I actually really like this powder. However, it's super old. As you can see, the design has wiped off and everything, and then I don't really use it. I don't really reach for it very much anymore just because I have others that I reach for. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this powder, but I am a big fan of the Rimmel Stay Matte, one of the best mattifying powders in the drugstore, hands down. Here are two drugstore loose powders. I have the Maybelline Shine Free Loose Powder, which actually works pretty well, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. And then I have the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder. I didn't really love this powder. It just, I don't know. I didn't like how it looked on my skin. I didn't like how it sat on my skin. So this one I'm going to declutter. Palladio Rice Paper. I heard great things about this product, and then I used it and just really didn't love it. And I think a lot of it also had to do with just the packaging. Like, I hate things that are just too messy, and I know loose powders can be a bit messy, but this one was just extra messy, so I don't like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. And I'm also gonna get rid of this e.l.f. Translucent Mattifying Powder. This one was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best. The powder is actually really soft, but I don't know. I just didn't really love it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. Last two powders, I have the Ulta Mineral Setting Powder. I have not tried this yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it so I can give it a try. If I don't like it, I'll just go ahead and get rid of it at that time. And then the last powder is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Airbrush Silk Pressed Finishing Powder. This is another powder that I am so on the fence about, but I'm just not ready to give up on it yet, so I'm not. Gosh, it's so chalky though. It's just really chalky. I mean, it blends nicely. I'm gonna try it one more time, and if I don't like it, it's gonna go. Alright, you guys, so this is our final giveaway pile. I think we did really good. So we have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 28 powders that we have decluttered. I started with 56, so that leaves me 28 powders. So we got halfway, is that right? I think so. We got halfway through the powders. I cut my collection in half, so I'm very, very happy about that, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video and helping me declutter my life. Honestly, I just feel so much better now that I was able to get rid of all this stuff, and I'll finally have space and everything won't be so crowded and just irritating. I'm just really happy about that. So thank you guys so much for watching this madness. I hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, please don't forget to give these videos a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My social medias are always listed down below in the description box. My Instagram, my Snapchat, and also my Facebook fan page. Please go ahead and follow me on those sites. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Don't forget to let me know what you want to see next down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.